Why is he doing classic? Even he wouldn't go to open bodybuilding. Why is he willing to go to classic? Why is he not just doing something completely different?
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So Mike Sommerfeld was on Fuad Real Bodybuilding podcast. And as much as we appreciate Mike Sommerfeld, honestly, it was not a great idea to share it with the world that he had food poisoning during the Arnold Classic peak week, where he lost almost 8 pounds in just one night. The reason I'm saying that, you don't want to show any vulnerability to the competition, especially before the show, and more specifically, when you are the favorite to win the Arnold title this year. And not just that, maybe the Olympia later this year too. But maybe Mike is just so confident that he knows he can easily cover all the ground and still demolish this whole Arnold lineup and be the last man standing tomorrow. So the last posing update that we saw from Mike that he posted, where he was posing for his coach Neil Hill. Now, if he did not reveal that he had food poisoning, not even a single expert in the bodybuilding world would have been able to judge that or would have figured that out. That he's down 8 pounds in this posing update. No one would have thought that something went wrong with this prep during those last few days.
I just had a food poisoning 5 days ago. I was shitting water, bro. I lost like 8 pounds a night. I don't care.
Because the man just looked so damn freakish in that video. It's kind of unbelievable. Now Mike is the favorite to win this show because every single mandatory that he hits, he has total command over that. And the man is just so damn complete. He has that unmatched muscularity and density in that classic physique lineup. And again, I'm gonna say he looks right on the money to win this one. And as a fan, we would just love to see Mike do a men's open bodybuilding show, just like Chris Bumstead did last year, because I believe he's gonna do very well, as he has all those traits of being a great men's open bodybuilder as well. So Hostile just dropped some Sherpa lined zip-up hoodies and forged hooded jackets. So do check him out and use the code FAZI10 to get 10% extra discount. Next up, we have an off-season physique update from Bruno Santos, the guy who took everyone by surprise at Europa Pro last year, beating a guy like Andrea Presti, and became the second guy from Brazil to qualify for the Olympia last year. Now there are some physiques which we know won't be able to have an impactful Olympia debut, and Bruno Santos was definitely one of them, and nobody expected him to crack top 10 on his first try. But the whole experience of sharing the biggest bodybuilding stage with the best of the best in the world, that was a great one for him, and that helped him realize what he needs to do in order to move up the ranks. Now, if I'm not mistaken, him and Behrouz Tabani, they are the two guys who are working with Milos Sarcev as of right now. And I am talking about the men's open bodybuilding. And Bruno at Europa Pro, he had such a powerful physique. He had that raw mass as well as great density. And the reason he was able to come out on top at Europa Pro was because he had more balance, top to bottom, compared to a guy like Andrea Presti, who is top heavy. Even though we all know Presti had better aesthetics, especially in the upper half. But Presti just has one big problem, and that is his lower body, which is nowhere close to his upper body in development. So expect to see Bruno hit the stage with more mass later this year. And not many people realize that qualifying for Miss Olympia, that is the biggest honor for some of these bodybuilders for life. Once you are an Olympian, you put yourself in that elite category of the best in the world. The German bodybuilding legend, Dennis Wolf, and his physique at the age of 46. I have got to say he can represent a fit model division with the physique that is rocking right now. So there is definitely some correlation between the gear usage and the way some of these IFB pros look like. Because Dennis Wolf is looking a lot younger these days. And I must say, he must be on some sort of TRT. And nothing more than that. Because he doesn't need to put a lot of gear in the system. Because he isn't trying to get big or stay huge anymore. He trains very smart, eats less than half the amount he used to eat compared to those times when he was actively competing. And he has said this numerous times. He feels great at his current size. Another great bodybuilder who kind of became a victim of Phil Heath's supremacy, as Phil was just so dominant during his Olympia reign. Because looking back at the physique of Dennis Wolf from his prime, he had the ideal structure to win that Miss Olympia title. He was tall, wide, very aesthetic, and his Arnold Europe look from 2013, that right there is a great representation of what a beast this guy was in his prime. Now Dennis Wolf did not retire on his own terms, but maybe him getting injured and getting out of the sport. That too so early in his career. That was kind of a blessing in disguise, because he was able to step away with his health intact. And we have lost so many greats since that time, like the late Sean Roden, Cedric McMillan, and George Peterson afterwards. Guys, Gorilla Wear is offering a massive discount of up to 70% right now. Use the code FAZI10 to get 10% extra discount. So the Persian Wolf Hadi Choopan said that he's gonna break the record of the heaviest shrugs done by an IB pro in the bodybuilding history. And today he did that. So that is 450 kgs right there. And that is close to 1000 pounds. And the most astonishing part of that lift is that those shrugs were the last exercise of his shoulder workout. And that was a brutal 90 minutes workout session. Now, not the first time Hadi Choopan has done something like that. Some insane stuff in the gym, because the man is so famous for his monstrous strength in the gym. And we know he trains like an absolute animal. And that is most probably one of the reasons why he has so much density and muscle maturity. So is there anyone in the men's open class who trains as hardcore as Hadi Choopan? He literally takes so much risks by doing those heavy lifts, even when he is very close to being contest ready, even when he is on very low food and very low carbs. We did witness that last year during the Olympia prep. Now Hadi hasn't made the big announcement just yet on who's gonna be his coach for 2025 season. Now he passed up on this opportunity of winning $500,000 at this year's Arnold just to be all fresh for the Olympia later this year, which is gonna be a big deal for him. Now, if Hadi is to reclaim that Olympia throne, it has got to be this year, as he also has only a few years left till he hits that 40 years mark. Next up is the off-season physique update from Keone Pearson. He's now on to the big push for this upcoming off-season to grow even more, and even at the heaviest ever body weight to date, he's capable of hitting the most difficult classic shots, which shows how conscious Keone is about his midsection during this phase. Now Keone Pearson, I believe, is gonna be a great men's open competitor in the future. Now this may take 2 or 3 years at max, because I believe in that time span he's gonna max out that 212 weight cap. And by that time, Keone will have 5 212 Olympia wins. That's more than enough to solidify him as one of the greatest 212 bodybuilder of all time. And the only thing that Keone needs to watch out during these growing phases is making sure his waist remains the same. All of his classic lines remain intact, as they have in the past few years. Now, from the time Keone was a classic physique pro to him being 2 times 212 Olympia champion, his proportions have only gone better with time. And with more muscle, he looks even more crazy now. And the reason is, he has been able to grow everywhere except for his midsection. And that is the ideal case scenario for any bodybuilder. Now he seems to be extremely motivated at this point during the off-season. And with him having 12 more pounds of room to get bigger before he hits that weight cap, we can realistically expect to see another insane transformation, just like he did from 2023 to 2024. Next up, we have an update from Blessing Afutibu. I wanna say 10 weeks out, as per his own announcement, as he said he's doing this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro for his comeback show, and he has also committed to doing the New York Pro. So his coach Stefan also confirmed that. But he replied to a comment under his recent post, no show confirmed just yet. So did Blessing realize that he has literally zero chance of winning either in Pittsburgh or the New York Pro with Martin and Nick Walker in there? Or is he not on target for 10 weeks out? Now Blessing has been coming down from 320 pounds, which was his peak off-season weight, and that wasn't a pretty look. And he's now down to 293 pounds. Now it has been changing on a weekly basis, but I bet both Martin and Nick right now, they must be looking way ahead of Blessing in terms of everything that's important to win a bodybuilding show. So Blessing is making this comeback after 2 years. So we expect to see some big changes in his physique, especially his quads. Now if he actually skips the Pittsburgh and the New York Pro and does a show like Cali Pro or Legion Sports, or maybe some shows in June, then that isn't cowardly at all. That is the right move. That is more of a realistic approach in order for him to get back on that Miss Olympia stage, which is the ultimate goal. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.